Hi everyone. So today we're going to do the 4 questions that have been assigned for the project that has been creating hierarchies, joins, data blending, and binning. So firstly, this is how when you open your Tableau screen, this is how it's going to look. So firstly, we're going to do our first question, but before we have to first extract a file. That is, download the 3 folders that I've given. That is, they have given 3 Excel folders. So just download them. So the first one is going to be the P1 superset that have been given, right? So we're going to open that. You're going to click it from Microsoft Excel and open it. And when you open it, this is how it's going to look, right? So the first question goes on. We are supposed to create a hierarchy in Tableau using Superstore data. We have just extracted our Superstore data. Now we're going to create a hierarchy. That is, we're going to first drag orders and just drop it here, right? We're going to go for sheet 1, create a hierarchy. That is, we're going to create a hierarchy by using firstly, holding on to the titles of category, subcategory, and product name. So hold on to command button if you're using a Mac, or a control button if you're using a Microsoft Windows, right? So hold command or control and go for product and product name, drag it and drop it onto product category. And that's it. You have just created a hierarchy right now. You want to just drag it and drop it right here, and you'll find yourself a hierarchy. So that's going to be product category, product name, and subcategory. I just want to realign this again. So I just will do this. That is, you will be able to see product category, subcategory, and name like this, right? So this is how you'll be able to see it. That is product category, subcategory, name. And we're going to rephrase that again as well. So product category, subcategory, and product name. That's it. That's how you're going to do it. Now, they asked us to create a category for region, right? So what you're going to do is hold on to the keys of state, command or control button, and city, drag it and drop it onto region. And that's your region hierarchy. We're just gonna drag it and drop it right here. So to omit any kind of confusion, I'll just remove the product category hierarchy. I'll just do this. You can just remove the hierarchy by doing this. That is, it still stays here, right? You're just not showing it on the screen, but it still stays here. So this is your region category. I just want to realign it again. So region, state, and city. And you just created that. That's it. Your region, state, and city hierarchy you have just created. Now you're supposed to create a category for sales, right? So what you're going to do is just bring your product category right onto the rows and go down. You find yourself sales right here. Drag it and drop it onto columns, invert it, and that's it. Yep. Furniture, office supplies, and technology. If you want to have a much more better view, this is how you're just going to just break it down again, or you can just drop it down again. Like, you can just increase your hierarchy by pressing a minus or plus button right here, right? So this is how you're going to do it. Your furniture, your office supplies, and technology. That is basically the second question that has just been answered. When I say a question has been answered, kindly just take a screenshot of your own screen so that you can just upload those screenshots onto the folder again. So basically it is your final answer, right? There isn't anything more beyond to it. So just take a screenshot and then you're good to go. You can just upload it onto your GC and let's submit it. That's it. Now use a hierarchy to drill down on a subcategory and product name. Now we're just going to clear all of this part, clear and clear, right? So what you're going to do is create a duplicate of subcategory and create a duplicate of product name. And then you're going to drag product name, drag it and drop it onto subcategory and you'll be finding yourself a hierarchy for product subcategory and name. You're going to drag it and drop it right here. And that's it. Product subcategory and product name. You have just finished the entire first question. That's it. Nothing else. If you have any questions, just rewind it back again and go through it. And if you still have any questions, just give me a call. Right? Now, the next question is basically joins. So you're supposed to connect two tables. So what you're going to do now is firstly, we're just going to clear away these hierarchies. We don't need them anymore, right? So remove hierarchy, remove hierarchy. I just double clicked it and just removed it, the hierarchy. That's it. Now we're going to go and double click onto orders, right? And we're going to just drag returns, drag it and drop it right here. This is how you'll be able to see it. It's just going to be a default version. And this is what we need. You don't need anything else because that's what they ask for. They ask for the order ID field, which is already by default, it is just present there. And now what you're going to do is pretty simple. Go back to your sheets. You want order ID, product name, order date, and return date. Unfortunately, return date isn't mentioned on the Excel sheet, and they didn't give any kind of values as such. So we are not going to use any of that things right now because we just don't have any data of it. So we're gonna drag order ID, product name, and order date. Order date. That's it. That's your first question that has been answered. The sub question of the second question. That's it. This is how it's going to look, right? Now, you're supposed to connect orders and customers tables, which is basically orders and users, right? You're supposed to connect this one and this one together. So what you're going to do is just going to remove all of this. You don't need to do it. I'm doing it because I'm just trying to explain everything on a single sheet. What you can do is you can just create a couple of more sheets and just go on and go forth. So you can do that. You don't need to remove anything, right? So what you're going to do is remove this returns. You don't need it anymore, right? Remove it. Go for users, drag it, drop it right here, right? And go for orders again, drag it and drop it right here. And you'll be able to create what is called a left joint of customer ID. And that is what they want, a customer ID for left joint. And you just created that. And now you go for sheet one. And what you're going to do is you're going to drag and drop order ID, customer name, order date, customer segment, right? So order ID, one second, guys. Yeah, order ID, customer name, customer segment, and order date, right? Order date. So we have order ID, customer name, order date, and customer segment. That's it. That's your answer solved. That's it. Nothing else. Just in a jiffy. Now we're going to go for the next question. That is the third question. So this is where you're going to change your data source because the third question requires you to use copies and office supplies data source, which is basically you're going to change your data source right here. You go for a new data source, Microsoft Excel, coffee chain, open, right? You open one more. You go for another data source, Excel, Office, open, and that is basically coffee and office. These two sales is what you need right now. So you add them to your source. Now you're going to go to your sheet 2 or sheet 1, anything is fine as long as you open a new one. right? So what you're going to do is go for your data. You can find it right here on top. So basically, you'll be able to find you'll be able to find an icon or tab which is called as data on top of your tab bar or a menu bar, right? It's on top of your screen. You'll be able to find it beside file and data, and it's sandwiched between worksheet and file. So that's what it's written DATA. So you press that, and you'll be able to find edit blend relationships. You press that, and then you go for, you'll be able to see your screen like this, blend relationships. So you should be having it like this, like coffee chain sales, office sales data, custom, add, region, territory, okay, okay, and that's it. You have just connected data sources. You have just found common fields of region. You just did that. And you've also that is what you also blended data from office supplies and coffee supplies. Now you're supposed to create a chart. Create a chart that compiles total sales of from office supplies and coffee supplies of each region. So what you're going to do is go to your region, hold it right here, right? Now this has become your primary data because as you see, a tick mark indicates a primary data source. And this one is not a primary data source because this is a primary data source. Now, you may assume, we also have territory or region here. Shouldn't we just drop it again? No, you're not supposed to do that. Why? It's because it's going to be data redundancy. It's going to be the same thing, right? That's why you have just blended it. They're just two titles which are different, but the data is same. That's why I've just blended them together. So you don't need territory again. So you just remove it. You don't need it. Now you go back to your coffee sales. You go to your coffee sales, add it right here. You go to your office sales, add it right here, and you just invert it. That's it. That's your answer. Now you go and press coffee sales right here at this point called as marks, right? You see this point, right? So you want to drag and drop coffee sales at label and office sales at label. And that's it. We have just created the answer for your table. Okay, whatever. Yeah, that's what we just did. We just created a total sales table from office sales and coffee supplies for the each region. So coffee sales, office sales, each region, east, north, south, west. That's it. Unfortunately, I couldn't find an answer for this region, for this question, because there wasn't any kind of sufficient data as mentioned for it to be answered. So I wasn't able to answer it. So apologies for that. Moving on, the final last question. We don't need this anymore, so we're gonna just delete. I mean, first, I'm just deleting it for my feasibility. So we're gonna go for sheet, the data source again. We're going to change it to orders. We're just going to remove all of this again, remove it. We're going to drag and drop orders again. And we're going to go to a new sheet. And now what you're going to do is we are supposed to create a sales field. So I want you to find sales, which is basically at the bottom. If you just scroll down at your left hand side, you'll be able to scroll down. You'll find sales. I want you to just double click on it, create and bins, and you're supposed to create a bin of worth of $100, right? So just enter it right here. So the bin 100 and okay, and you'll be able to find yourself sales bin right here. Just drag and drop it, and your sales right here. That's it. That's how you can do it, right? There's 100 mark difference. There's 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600, 700, and so on, right? So you just finish that question. Now we're gonna go and create bins for discount field. So discount field is basically right here again. Create bins, discount field with a value of 0.05. Okay. And we have just created discount field, add discount, and that's it. That's your answer, 0.5, 0.10, 0.15, 0.20. So we have just finished the entire assignment or all the questions If you have any kind of doubts or any kind of discrepancies in understanding the entire session, just rewind the video, go back to it. And if you have any other questions, just give me a call or just text me, right? Thank you so much, and looking forward to helping all out. Thank you so much. Bye.